Nerdrotic.com.
A little late on that one.
Sorry.
You were too busy petting your dog.
No, he's so cute. I say hi.
Yeah. Everybody say hi to the cute doggy.
Hello. Hello.
Little puppies. Little puppies.
I love your little puppies. Mwah.
Okay, it's getting a little gay in here. We're going to stop. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. It is Hump Day, and it's D-Day for Disney. The proxy voting ended last night at 11:59 p.m., and we will get the results, I guess, today. I think the meeting starts while this show is going, so we'll monitor it. I think Lady Greymaster said 12 Central. Not really sure. And we could definitely speculate on what's going to happen. I'm going to go out on a limb and say not much is going to change. So, and I agree. Think ultimately, that's good. We'll get into that. But hello, Chris Gore. Who's
hey,
on the
Gary,
bottom today? Are you a bottom today? What's up?
I'm on the bottom.
Whoopsies, I'm sorry.
Oh, whatever. I don't mind.
I know you don't.
Being on the bottom for variety is always good.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Gary. Good to see you, Gary. Always great to hang out with you and X-Ray Girl. I look forward to it.
We're going to do it in person soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. That's right.
Next
Oh,
week.
no.
1 week till Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My R2D2, the cooler, it's right here. I'm going to fill it with booze, and I'll bring it to Vegas so X-Ray Girl has something to drink. So.
I'll get someone across the border, too.
Sure. Yeah, love it. No, I'll bring a bunch of stuff. It's going to be fun.
It's what every illegal says, by the way.
Right. Exactly. That's the thing I'm worried about. Like, you mentioned the vote. Like, I think I agree. Nothing's going to change. I think Disney's going to win. And there we go. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
We will. Hey, X-Ray Girl.
Definitely get into it.
People. Hello. I'm like,
hello, X-Ray.
My lunch is trying to run away. So
no.
put her down. But I had fun this week. I watched Godzilla X Kong, and I was on a Film Fest to review that. That was really fun. It was like an Asian barbecue party, like with the family without the food. So that was fun. This is the most Asians I've seen on a live stream.
Wait till you see Monday. We're doing all Christian YouTubers to talk about Omen, the first Omen.
Oh.
Oh,
no, I'm serious. All Christians. Except, well, I mean, like, I feel like I'm culturally Christian, but I'm not practicing any religion. So, but yeah, that'll be really fun. So I know it was cool. Like, I was in the minority. I was in the minority on the show.
I think Angel Studios should do like a horror, like a whole series of Christian based horror movies, just based, I think they would do a great job on the Omen.
They would do, well, I mean, look, there's Immaculate, which, Sydney Sweeney, that's a reason to see it. That's religious horror. And Hollywood has a whole history of doing religious themed horror films. Exorcist, the Omen series, you could go on and on. There's even movies like Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer, and a movie called, these are all weird indie movies, called Ultra Christ, where Jesus Christ returns in the present day, and because he has superpowers, just becomes a superhero. because the old school robe and stuff is just not working with people.
So it's like a marketing thing.
Yeah, it's like a marketing thing to market Christianity. So I feel like what's so funny is I'm inviting all these Christian YouTubers on, including Melanie Mack, among others, and like they're like, I've seen more religious themed horror films than they have. So it's gonna be a fun conversation, though.
It is. It is. I want to get, because I talked about it on the Real BBC yesterday. The passing of Ed Piskor, the comic creator. He did, I have it, X-Men Grand Design. That's pretty much what I'm familiar with. He's done other seminal work. What's the hip hop one called, Chris?
A History of Hip Hop.
It's like the History of Hip Hop, but that's what he's probably most famous for. Didn't read that one. Sorry. And I love this, by the way. It's really freaking good. There's also there's the second Genesis that came out. Took his own life because it's a really dark story, and it happened within like 5 days, and it's basically a cancel culture mob came after him, and he took his own life over what were perceived as, and I don't know because I didn't see any screenshots, and I'm not going to get into it. About just having conversations via DMs with a younger girl who was, I think, 17 or something like that. And this was during COVID. The whole thing's horrible. The whole thing's absolutely horrible. And a Pittsburgh TV station went and like harassed his elderly dad. And the next day, he took his life. It's gotten, the discourse around it has gotten so disgusting that I really don't want to fan the flames of it at all. I just like, I'm out because he's got family members out there, and not that they're going to see anything, but just in case they do, I don't want to add to it. I really don't. I have no desire to add to it. It's gotten so freaking ugly. No regrets not being any part of the comic book industry anymore. Absolutely. I'm reminded daily how freaking nasty it is. And, you just don't need to be around people like that. And it's good. So, yeah, hate cancel culture in all its forms. And, especially, on a stream that's monetized, I don't feel comfortable like getting into it. We can certainly do one later that's not monetized and talk about it. I think that would be at least more appropriate, or, I don't know, but I really don't want to add to the family's pain. And, cancel culture sucks, and it took a life. It did. And it's very sad, whether you like the guy or not. I didn't know the guy, so I read one of his books, a couple of his books. That's about it.
Yeah, I didn't know him either, and unbeknownst to me, had a bunch of his comics. And what I read about it, I won't say much, Gary, but a man lost his life and his livelihood, and he now has family that has lost him, including nephews, sister, mother, and father. It's when you look, it's just terrifying that a man could so easily lose his livelihood, his life, his very purpose, because he was so consumed with comics. I read a lot about it and really come to appreciate like who he was. And I'm sure we'll get into it some other time. I'd like to be a part of that conversation because I have a lot to say about it. But for now, it's just horrifying to see that this happened. And I hope that there is some pause or reflection. I don't think there will be, but in talking to some other people who were indirectly involved about it, people who knew him, he was just an amazing person who supported his friends and whatnot. It was very just upstanding in the community, in spite of these allegations. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, it's weird because in talking to other people about it, what other industry does this happen in?
Well,
I'll say this. I only know independent film, right? So independent film is probably, of all the things, I know the best. That doesn't happen. Like, I mean, there's that community is a little different, probably much more supportive.
I think it's a microcosm of Hollywood. I do. Like,
right,
people.
It's
like
not
this,
Hollywood at all. Indie film is not Hollywood.
No. But what I say, the comic industry is a microcosm of Hollywood. a
Yes, it
big
is.
corporate Hollywood. I think the exact same things happen. People self-delete. Horrible things happen. Absolutely. I think it's just a microcosm, and that's why it's just such a tiny little industry now. And ultimately what happens, again, somebody's lost his life, but so many people witnessing this who could be potential comic book buyers and stuff are just going to go, fuck this. I don't want anything to do with this. And they're just going to quietly walk away. More people are just going to quietly walk away. It's devastating to the industry, more devastating to his family. So, I don't want to be part of it. I just, after watching everything going on, I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I'm really sorry about his family. You know, that's it. That's all. It's a very sad end, and I think ultimately avoidable temporary solution or a permanent solution to a temporary problem. That's what self-deleting is. But so it was avoidable in the solution, but this end with somebody or something was inevitable. With cancel culture, that was absolutely inevitable. It was going to happen. Hope anybody involved in the piling on goes and finds Jesus, because that's what they need to do. So let's have fun. Let's have fun roasting Disney a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe Disney will be victorious today. I
think that Iger's going to win because of all the newcomers. I mean, the pre-filled out ballots that people received.
Well,
I really think it's a foregone conclusion. The amount of effort, what is the estimate? They spent $70 million on a campaign to effectively hold, keep these new board seats, keep these newcomers, let's call them newcomers. That's a popular word these days. The newcomers off the board. So yeah, I really think it's, that's why I get kind of resigned with this stuff and sort of look like, is anybody going to be surprised when the vote goes the way everyone thinks it will go?
No, I would be more surprised if Peltz won. Could you share this, X-Ray Girl? I just put this Twitter. Bill Ackerman put this up last night. Valiant did a video. Valiant Renegade did a video a couple of days ago discussing this, that some of the results have been leaked. And apparently that's a big fucking no-no. And it would be pretty easy to figure out who leaked it, because it's so few people see the results as they're happening. By the way, it would be, if Peltz wins, that would be amazing, considering Disney monitors the votes. Now, I guess there's a third party tallying it, but as you said, Disney spent $70 million. So that's like an episode of Rings of Power.
That's like the gross of the Marvels.
Right?
Right.
Shit. That's a lot of money to spend. And then we've gone over the political ads too, which are political ads. And then this information gets leaked, and you would think, well, that helps Peltz. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So Bill Ackerman says there have been, and I guess Bill Ackerman is a financial guy. That's all I know. That's all. But there have been a few recent articles in the press about Disney winning its proxy contest with Nelson Peltz based on early election returns that have been leaked to the media. We don't have an investment in Disney, but I thought it useful to point out the inappropriateness of these leaks to the press. Only the company and its advisors have access to how shareholders have voted before the day of the annual meeting. My understanding is that this is illegal. It is illegal to release the outcome of the vote prior to it being finalized, and it has the effect of manipulating the outcome. Here, the company and or its advisors have leaked that Disney is winning the contest. It is really inappropriate that they have done so. And how does one know that Disney and or its advisors are the one source leak? If Peltz were winning, there would be no leaks to the press. The reason why the progress of the election for directors must be kept confidential until the results are final is that leaking the results can affect the ultimate outcome. Yeah, like a 3 a.m. ballot dump. Institutional shareholders worry about offending management by voting with an activist. They are concerned what if management learns that they have voted against the incumbent directors? They may lose access to the management going forward. In other words, Bob Iger is less likely to come visit and or take a call with a shareholder if the shareholder voted with the dissident. Sorry. There is early. This is early. Or clearly, sorry, there's a cord right in front of me. I got to fix that. This is clearly a close election. Institutions don't want to risk voting against the incumbent board if it is clear that the activist will lose. They want to be on the winning side of the election. Here, the company and or its advisors have leaked the early results in order to tip more institutions and other shareholders to vote for the incumbent board, unfairly tipping the scale in the incumbent board's favor. In other words, an institution may think if Peltz is going to lose, it would not be worth taking the risk of offending management by voting for him. This is unfortunately not an uncommon practice. Years ago in our proxy contest with ADP, the company and or its advisors did the same thing. The SEC.gov, whatever, should do a thorough investigation. I'm sure the SEC government, which probably filled with 99% progressive Democrats, would come out against Disney. I'm absolutely, no, I'm not. Of this proxy contest and appropriately punish whoever is responsible for the miscarriage of shareholder governance and justice. Companies of this caliber, of the caliber of Disney and or its advisors, should not behave this way. Lastly, but importantly, I think highly of Nelson Peltz. I am sure he would be greatly additive as a member of the Disney board. Ask yourself, why is the company fighting so hard to keep him off? The fact that the company leaked the early returns to the media is further evidence that an activist of Nelson Peltz caliber deserves to be on the board for all shareholders to benefit. Based on my knowledge of Nelson Peltz capabilities and the dirty tricks implemented by the company and its advisors, I strongly recommend that shareholders vote for Nelson Peltz for the Disney board. Institutions who have already voted still have time to change their vote. It is, which they don't anymore. It is time that we make an example of Disney here so this bad practice does not continue to poison shareholder democracy.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Disney, dirty tricks. All right, what?
Dirty tricks and lying?
And lying?
No. When does that happen?
That never happens with Disney. They don't go after the fans. That's not them. That's somebody else. That's the Access Media that they'll pull access from. It's a third-party marketing company that comes up with things like fan baiting through the Access Media. Yeah, they would. They're just innocent men. Oh my God. Bob Iger is so afraid that his fucking legacy is going to be tarnished. I hate to break this to you, Bob. It's tarnished. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Am I right, ladies? Am I right?
Middle matters too.
It has been years since Disney, they keep rolling out Kevin Feige and the early success of Kevin Feige, the early success of Kathleen Kennedy, the early success of Pixar. But what they can't point to is any successes in the last 4 years. So are you, as a Disney shareholder, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago?
No. When you look at like the health of the company and when you look at just, I don't understand this whole practice where their actors vilify and attack the audience. Everything from what happened with Kenobi. I don't need to go over all of that to staff at Lucasfilm endorsing things like rewriting Ripley or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just there's so many cases where you can look at Disney employees and or forward facing, not behind the scenes, like actors themselves going after the audience, vilifying. It's just, it's so sad to see. I think it's a sign of desperation and that why isn't there a company policy about like, we just never do that? We don't do that. We don't attack the audience. We don't attack the people who give us money. Breaking news, by the way, Alan just messaged me, Alan Ing. He says part 5 of the D-Files is posted. I haven't even read it yet. Alan was working on it over the weekend. So we'll have to check it out, but or I'll check it out later. But yeah, no, it's just to see this company fall. And like even I was looking, I gotta say, Gary, I have a lot of great memories of going to Disneyland. The Tiki Room, Dole Whip, hanging out at Carthay Circle, at California Adventure, soaring over the world. Like I love, there's like, but all of those memories are so tainted. And I was tempted. I didn't do, they have this new special going. They're desperate to get residents of California there for some special price. And I was tempted. And then I thought, I feel so horrible about the company. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't go to that park.
I wouldn't set foot in either park, and I haven't. Last
And it
time I
just
was
makes
there
me
was
sad.
2019 with Jeremy when we got in for free.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And we ran around Galaxy's Edge, and it was fucking awful.
You saw how sad it was? It was like,
sad.
what is this?
Really sad.
It was so poorly designed and poorly thought through and just not fun. So,
well, yeah. So, I've broken it down in a lot of my videos, but if you really, that's the problem when you have Patrick Bet David talking about this, which is great that he's talking about it, but they always talk about it purely from a financial lens, right? What's the bottom line? What's this? Who's a deal maker? Ba-da-da-da. But Disney makes entertainment. So the entertainment that they make is important. And it's important since it's going to drive the market to their parks and everything to maybe understand the entertainment part of it. Now, they haven't made entertainment in a long time. They've made content. That's been part of the problem. But with, excuse me, I got a cough. With Kevin Feige, in particular, he did not start the MCU. He helped start it. But if you read the book, there's a lot of other people who were involved in starting the MCU when the MCU was firing on all cylinders. As time went on, Kevin Feige gained more power because, and I don't know if it's all entirely him. I'm not going to say it is him, but that, like we were mentioning his name early on, it's because he just became the focal point. And then he became the focal point right around Civil War. That's when he took over. That's when Ike Perlmutter was removed from the mix, made president of Marvel, and then Kevin Feige was the head of Marvel Studios. Since then, it's been pretty much downhill. They've, since Civil War, there was a couple of good movies after that. But Endgame on, it's been shit. It's been shit. No Way Home is the only takeaway they could have, and above average Guardians of the Galaxy film. But the diminishing returns were there. And what we have talked about a million times is Marvel is basically about 5 or 6 characters. That's it. That's what Marvel is.
Absolutely.
Marvel is not a mantle passed down to Falcon. That's not Marvel. That's not even close to Marvel. It's never worked in the comics. It's not going to work in the fucking movies.
You've even mentioned several times, why don't they just reboot and recast? It could have been so cool. It could have been so cool. X-Ray Girl's burping. I saw her.
Oh no, I just read a super chat that was so funny.
Okay.
You had to hold back your laugh. But they could have, and this would have been so great to sort of take it out of the level of modernity and cell phones and technology to just go back to the 60s, do 60s Fantastic Four, kick it off with that. 60s X-Men, and imagine a 60s retro Avengers. How cool would that be? I've seen so many videos lately, and I'm sure you have, Gary, about modern architecture and how oppressive it is when you look at like architecture that was built in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, these beautiful buildings, cathedrals, movie palaces. This is when architecture meant something. And you look at modern buildings and they're oppressive. They look like prisons from the outside. It's when you compare, old classic architecture, new architecture, and it really comes down to just being cheap, right? I feel like a Marvel Cinematic Universe set in the Camelot era 1960s, which is when the Fantastic Four was born, 1961, right? And there's that comic book series. You remember that comic book series that Alan Moore did? I think it was just called 1963.
Yep.
I loved that series. Not only did it have
it was part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It was part of that whole, yeah.
And it was like it captured sort of this 60s era in the writing style, in the illustration style, and even the ads. I have to dig it up. I want to read that again. But like, imagine doing something like that. It absolves you of having to deal with modern day anything. You can just tell great stories.
We can. And we can imagine it all day long because we're fans. And again, to go back to, we're parsing the entertainment out. We understand this. But they can't. It's not even a won't anymore. They can't. Kevin Feige, the golden boy, which, listen, if he had retired after Endgame, they would rename Hollywood after him. But he stuck around, and he became the villain because he has overseen an era that's completely tainted everything that's come before. Absolutely everything that's come before. So Kevin Feige, I don't know if you fire him. I like people talked about firing Kevin Feige. I don't know if that's the fucking answer. I really don't. With that, that's a strange one because his replacement would probably be worse. Be worse. So we have that. Kevin Feige has not been successful in that. Marvel has lost its way. Bob Iger is now being attacked by the Access Media. Kevin Feige isn't the golden boy anymore, and that's because Marvel was the one thing working for him, and they fucked it up. They completely fucked it in every hole. And Star Wars just never really got off the ground. Let's be real. Let's fucking be real. The Disney trilogy was all on hype and brand and memories from before, but that's it. And oh, by the way, there hasn't been a fucking Star Wars movie in the theaters since The Rise of Skywalker. And all of their shows been set shit. And and what do they have to offer this year? The year of the proxy battle for Marvel. The only good thing is Deadpool 3, which is just a gimmick. It's just, and it might be an enjoyable one. And it's probably going to do really well, but it doesn't fix the problem. It's a stopgap. Just in the same way, No Way Home didn't fix the problem. Pixar, which could do no fucking wrong for so long, they got rid of John Lasseter. And so these companies are people and characters, and it's not many of them. John Lasseter was Pixar, obviously. George 100%. Lucas was Star Wars. And also the characters, Han, Luke, and Leia, Darth Vader, Anakin. And that's about it. Nobody gives a shit about anybody else. And if you don't have Spider-Man, you don't have Cap, you don't have Iron Man, even Black Panther, I'll throw into that mix. You got nothing. You got nothing. So you can try all day long. So it blows my mind that supposedly smart people who have done no investigation in this at all are supporting Bob Iger, the guy who fucked up Star Wars and Marvel. And they want him to keep his job. And you know what? At this point, I'm with you. I want him to see it all the way through. All the way through. I don't think one guy on the board. How is one guy on the board that much of a threat? How could it possibly be that much of a threat unless there is just a warehouse of skeletons, not even a closet? It's like their reaction to this is the one that makes me really suspicious. Like, Bob Iger has this intricate plan. Have you seen his actions lately? Epic Universe partnership that may or may not happen. It was mainly just thrown out there to pump up the stock. And Taylor Swift, which you paid $75 million or $175 million, I can't remember, and I don't care, to have her tour put on D+, and I guess it's there, and nobody's fucking talked about it. So I don't know what the point was to do that. It was just to make waves. So Bob's good at buying stuff, but he's not good at preserving legacies, and he's not good at expanding your brand. So if we want to talk, fucking financial analyst talk, the branding for Disney has been shit. And now half the country doesn't even like the company. It's
losing trust of families was huge. And that was something that like now normies are aware of this stuff. Oddly enough, I was invited on the Bill Riley show yesterday
What?
to talk about this stuff. Yeah.
Did you go?
I know. No. It conflicts with Hollywood on the Rocks and doing this show, and I couldn't do it. I have previous
Bill
commitments.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, but whatever. Like I suggested, I actually said that they should invite you on. I gave him your email, so hope you don't mind. No, but but what I'm saying is what that is proof of, like your Piers Morgan appearances, and I was on Glenn Beck actually. Like,
yeah,
it's
I would talk to Glenn Beck.
Know about this stuff now. They're aware. They notice now that like, hey, the Disney of today isn't the Disney I grew up with, or the Disney that I'm comfortable. Because to break that, and I think we've talked about this before, it's a generational thing. Like I remember when my kids were young, one of the coolest things, and it was so fun, was to watch movies with them that I loved when I was younger, to watch them experience it for the first time, whether it's Star Wars or, name a thing. My daughter's into horror, so I got her into H.R. Giger.
It's awesome when they get older too, because then you can watch like the rated R movies, like let's do Mad Max, and that's great. I freaking love it.
And they're into it, and it's like, but this is the thing that I think Disney doesn't realize: you're losing a generation. You're losing people where they're saying, you know what, I'm not going to pass it along.
That's a great point. So this is what's happened to the comic book industry. This is what's happening to franchises right now. Video coming out later today. This is what's happening to Hollywood. So the comic book industry, the American comic book industry with superheroes and the independent sphere to a certain part, and not the neo independent sphere. I'm talking about the old one that goes back to zines and shit like that. That's more like what Ed Piskor was involved in, like the zine kind of indie alternative press expo thing. They have lost multiple generations now. They've arguably two. So, millennials were into comics and video games, and now it's just video games. Video games were destroying comics back in the 90s, okay, when the consoles come out. Like they were, but there was some crossover, and it worked for a while. And then what happened? The crossover didn't work. The comic book industry wasn't getting the best talent in the world. The best talent was going other places, because there's a finite number of talent in this world, right? And the best talent will go where the most money is. That's just a fact. And there's no money in comics anymore. And now they just, the most diversity hires, hate to burst your bubble, anybody who thinks these companies give a fuck about you, they're cheap. They're cheap.
Yeah.
And it's marketing. You're part of marketing now. Nobody gives a shit about the story you write. You're just part of the marketing department of a loss leader. But yes, Hollywood's losing like film. It's losing a generation.
Not just that, shrinking audience. You can report all the box office that you want. Fewer people are going to the movies. That's just a reality. People are still going to premium format screenings of films. So IMAX and Dolby Digital, things like that, 40X. Those screenings I just saw Dune Part 2 again in 70 millimeter at 3 p.m. on a Sunday. It was 100% full with the exception of the first couple rows because, but I couldn't believe it. Like, this movie's been out for a month. Okay. And it's still packed. That's saying something. And I don't know. I think Warner Brothers is making a big mistake. The rumor is that Dune Part 2 is going to be on Max in 2 weeks, April 15th. Hopefully they push
Warner
that date.
Brothers, quite frankly, is the only company that's fucking done anything right in the last 4 to 5 months after their fucking horrible year. After they're just they put out all those DC movies. But if you go back to, I think Wonka did really well. Dune's doing really well. House of the Dragon coming right around the corner. It's like you're starting to see the turnaround of like, let's focus on entertainment. And Warner Brothers, Zaslav, he pissed off a lot of people. But honestly, it was mostly just fucking hacks in Hollywood he was pissing off. He's like, this is a business. We are running a fucking business. We do want to make people happy. So maybe we'll spend more wisely. I know it's insane thought. And I'm not saying he is. And I'm not saying he's great. I mean, the guy still runs fucking CNN. I just bin that shit. But you know, they've done pretty fucking well. Like, you know, over the they had Barbie. Unfortunately, Barbie didn't help him at all because they had to release all those leftover fucking DC movies. But
yeah, that sort of put him in just sort of at even or negative. Yeah, all those DC movies. God, the rollout of Aquaman 2 was so lackluster. I got to see the movie one day before it opened. Whatever. But the premiere, which they normally like, you know, they do like the red carpet in this. It was just like a screening at a theater with fans.
oh, dude,
They didn't invite press.
They did not care. And I'll be
didn't
honest
care.
with you, if you ask me about like what's the difference between Aquaman 1 and 2 at this point, I couldn't tell you.
Right.
I couldn't fucking tell you at all.
And it turns out the movie was fine. It was, you know, whatever. But
yeah, it wasn't the worst
it
one.
was a cartoon.
It was a cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was Super Friends.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but like you need to make money. I haven't seen Kong X Godzilla or Godzilla X Kong yet. I plan to go see it. I just don't feel the need to rush out to what looks like a cartoon.
Your life's complete. You're fine.
Well, after watching I am
X-Ray Girl.
Oh
no, X-Ray Girl is
after watching. Were you gonna say something, X-Ray Girl? She's still muted.
Oh, she's still muted.
Oh, she's talking to
Dang
somebody.
it. Oh, there. I was muted on 2 different areas. I didn't realize. No, you don't need to see Godzilla X Kong. Just watch Godzilla -1. It's way better.
You're fine, Gary.
Yeah, okay. I'll just watch that again. And after watching Ghostbusters, I was just like, end franchises. Just end them. They're old. Hollywood cannot do it. You know, you were just laying out like a great idea to reboot the Marvel Universe. Start it in the 60s. Start it in order. Do whatever you have to do to work with Sony to get Spider-Man in that mix. Do whatever you have to do with Universal to get the real fucking Hulk in that mix. And you'll be fine. You will still have it will drive people to your parks. It will be successful. Probably not as successful because the novelty has worn off, but it will be successful if you just follow the roadmap of the comic books. And you know what? If you stayed truer to the comic books, it would be different than the MCU, which was more true to the Ultimate comic books than the 60s comic books. And if you took that would be different and it would be successful. It would. It just would. But they won't fucking do it because of their DEI departments and all of these freaking activists. And it's not just the activists, although they're the main problem. It's also the bankers who are just, you read it in Ackerman's tweet. They're all fucking scared. Oh, well, what if leadership sees who I voted for? What if somebody hears my real politics? Who the fuck wants to work in that place? So the ultimate answer is Hollywood is breaking up right now. It's breaking up and it needs to be decentralized. And Jeremy and I talked about this on Friday Night Tights. We actually had a phone call about this too. The reason the gamers are winning, like it's not even close. Like it's almost sad if it wasn't so fucking funny. The gamers are destroying the media. The gamers have the power because they realize they always did. It's a decentralized industry. It's an industry that makes games all around the world. And the film and scripted entertainment industry is moving to that too. Thanks to the strike. Now Hollywood and distributors are looking outside of Hollywood. Well, the industry of Hollywood and studios are looking outside of the town of Hollywood. And it's working. It's working. Shit, one of the best shows I'm watching is an American show that's mostly in Japanese. Shogun. Which is
yes. I gotta just sign up and bite the bullet to watch it because all my friends are now they've caught up and they're loving it.
So it needs to be completely decentralized. Remember, Hollywood was kind of going to Atlanta, but that was just basically Hollywood in Atlanta.
Right. Well, it was production in Atlanta and then Tyler Perry, among others. But yeah.
But so. he shut down the expansion of a studio because of AI. And it's just going to be easier for people to make stuff. And in short order, not that long, folks, people are going to be making entire movies in their room. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I really don't. But that's what Hollywood's going to have to deal with, especially, again, watch my video, what's just coming out the rest of the year. If you look at what's coming out the rest of the year. I mean, around the corner, we got a Mad Max movie without Mad Max. And
are they going to keep... Is he going to be in it? Is Mad Max going to be in it, but sort of like it's a secret cameo?
Dude, the rest of the fucking year, for the most part, 17 movies I counted. I might be wrong. It might be 18 that are not just sequels as in Gladiator 2. Most of them are like the third sequel or a second sequel of a third reboot of a remake of a fucking animated series of a live. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. There's no originality on the slate whatsoever. I mean, I'd say the only thing I give a fuck about is the War of the Rohirrim. That's the only thing I give a shit about. Like Deadpool 3, I'm not even that excited about it. I'm like, it'd be cool.
Same. Although there are rumors in Deadpool 3 that Henry Cavill has a cameo as a Wolverine variant. I would love to see it if Henry Cavill was like 4 feet tall.
That would be
hilarious.
If they made him short, and they probably would, that would be hilarious.
He's a badass, but he's like this tiny Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that rumor that some scoopers ran with and said, "Man, I heard it from my sources." Quarter Black Garrett, by the way, Quarter Black Garrett spilling the beans of something we heard at an event,
right?
Sometime last year.
Yeah,
from somebody who may or may not work at Marvel. But that's cool. Take credit. I don't care. I don't care. He spilled that on a Forbidden Frontier, which is funny. So it wasn't even our entertainment show. It was our paranormal show.
Not even FNT.
And it was like at the end.
Yep. Right when we were saying bye.
I kept on teasing that there was a rumor about I know somebody who it, you know, I was very vague about it. And then Quarter Black goes, I'm all, should I give him a hint? I'm all, nah. And then Quarter Black goes, short arms. And everybody in the chat figured it out.
Yes, I watched that. Oh, it was great. I watched it live. That was great. So funny.
Oh, it was hilarious. QBG. He's at home sick.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's getting sick. Weird, man.
Well, get it out of your system now.
Ready before Vegas.
Yeah. Get it out of your system now.
And you can spread it at Vegas.
Yay, so I can get sick in Vegas again.
Let's be super spreaders. Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Dude, Vegas is getting crazy. I can't wait to check out the Sphere. I guess Disneyland might be putting a fucking park of some kind there, and Universal's doing Halloween Horror Nights like all year round, which would be great. I fucking want to.
I want to go.
There's Area 15 that's got Meow Wolf, which is really weird. The best Meow Wolf. Yeah, the best Meow Wolf is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Oh. That's because they took an old bowling alley and then they built a house inside, and it's like a fucking acid trip. So you can like open the fridge and walk downstairs and you go into this, and it looks, you know what it looks like? The set of a 60s Star Trek alien episode. On the inside, it's fucking rad. It's really cool. Started by George R.R. Martin, by the way. Gave him the money for that.
I had no idea.
Yeah, all that money he took from his publisher and the readers of his books that he's not going to finish.
Oh my God.
Just a quick note on that. I check his Not a Blog pretty regularly, like once a week. Mm-hmm. When he's writing Winds of Winter, he talks about it like all the fucking time. He has not talked about it in like a year. So he ain't doing no writing. Like it, yeah. So not that there's any hope at all. Is it, we're about 10 minutes away from the meeting starting, I think. But I think a lot of it's fluff in the beginning, to be honest with you. But yeah, so the shareholders who, I mean, listen, a lot of you have stock in your 401ks or whatever, and you're not paying attention to anything or any of this, or maybe you are. I don't want to judge you for that. Whatever, you need to take care of your family. I did have full disclosure. I did have Disney stock for a brief period of time because I had Marvel stock. Oh,
really?
Because I had Marvel stock. So remember when Marvel hit the stock market? Both times I got two separate, because they changed ownership, and I got two separate stock certificates. And then I got all they used to do a quarterly report in comic form.
Oh, that's so cute.
So I have all those.
Oh, cool.
I have all those. And then I got the last thing you get from Marvel. It's actually in my closet because I found it randomly, was the thing from the sale. And everything I had to go over with the sale to vote on it or whatever. And then yeah, the sale happened and it turned into Disney stock and I got rid of it immediately. So there, that's that brief moment. The only stock I own is Tesla, and it's only because I forgot where it is. I got it from working there, and I have no idea where it is. So whatever. But it's knowing where they're going with the entertainment, and all you have to do is look at their upcoming release schedule to know that Bob Iger's plan is the same plan he had for last year, and the same plan the year before when Bob Chapek was there, and the same plan before that. So absolutely nothing's going to change. That's why I want Bob to get what he wants, because it will take this company down. They will be the Warner Brothers of a couple of years ago. Within 5 years, they'll be in debt. They'll be massively in debt. Their brand is on its decline. It's in entropy. People are, for one, and then Universal's coming in on the park side. And quite frankly, they have two properties that are more popular than anything Disney will ever have. They have Nintendo, and they have Harry Potter. And that's the other smart thing that Warner Brothers is doing. Now, it depends on how the show turns out. And in my headcanon, I believe J.K. Rowling is okaying this TV show so she can erase Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe from all the history of fucking Harry Potter. That's how I got it worked out in my head. But if they do the show right, that's a pretty smart move. It'll be the biggest fucking show on streaming, like by far. It'll easily have the biggest premiere, however it turns out. It will be the biggest show on streaming. And they have two properties that they're expanding on that are going to do well. And yeah, what Disney needs to do now, what's the saying, Chris? You're just one good movie away of turning things around. Not with Marvel. Not with Marvel.
Yeah.
You're about 3. And I mean, really fucking good movies, from turning things around to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I just think that normie audiences and audiences in general are just tired of the Marvel movies. Feel like homework now, right? You have to have seen all these Disney Plus series, none of which are great, not one. Sure, they had their moments. They're usually in the early episodes, but they're not worth repeat viewings. Then you've got the homework of, did you watch the previous thing? Because it's like a story that is ongoing. It's an ongoing story, and there are so many loose ends. Somebody needs to put together, this would be fun for one of your ambitious videos, Gary, which get better and better. Your videos are just getting better and better. They're like mini documentaries. And the loose ends from all the Phase 4 movies. What are the loose ends? The giant, what, celestial in the middle of the ocean, the meeting that Shang-Chi and Katie had with Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel at the end of Shang-Chi. What was that about? They just keep adding these things and nothing connects. Nothing seems to connect. It seemed to be leading towards Kang. We know that's over. The multiverse was probably a bad idea. A multiverse would have been great with one movie. One movie, tell a multiverse story.
Well,
yeah,
to announce Kang, to go like, this is our villain for the next 5 years, like before he's in a movie. It's like,
yeah,
that's kind of dumb. Hey, we got some breaking news.
Okay.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
I got it.
You got it? Throw it up.
I got it. I got the breaking news.
Oh, just to show that the creative bankruptcy is still going on. Now, I want to preface this by saying Drew Goddard's a good writer. Drew Goddard helped get rid of that dork on the ad, please.
Click on that.
Yeah. Drew Goddard helped develop Daredevil. Drew Goddard worked on Angel. the best season of Angel. So like this guy's pretty good. And honestly, I'd rather have him running the Matrix than the Wachowski sisters at this point.
Right.
But like, dude, there's one Matrix movie. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I'd rather see this guy go to Daredevil and work on Daredevil. Fuck. So new Matrix movie in the works with Drew Goddard writing and directing. The filmmaker approached Warner Brothers with a new idea to extend the franchise, known for its pioneering visual effects. Again, I would like to state that this is a better option than the Wachowskis, okay? It's a much better option than the Wachowskis, who are off their fucking rocker at this point. By the way, just shout out to Mental Health Awareness Day that passed, that was also on Easter. Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix, and this time Drew Goddard is leading the charge. Goddard, the fan favorite writer-director, whose credits include The Martian, The Cabin in the Woods, both good movies, by the way, and World War Z, has been tapped to write and direct a new Matrix feature for the studio, Warner's announced Wednesday. This will be the first Matrix film not to be directed by creators Lana and Lily Wachowski. Formerly, what were their names formerly? Larry?
Yeah, they're like Larry and
And Larry.
Larry, Moe, and Curly Wachowski.
Though Lana Wachowski will act as an executive producer of the new installment.
I don't like that.
Oh, that's just a contractual thing.
Yeah.
And to get a little bit of money, to be able to just give a blessing that requires no work. Producer credits are such BS when you see them in films. It's just someone was involved in, so you don't know what they actually do. It's really like the BS credit on a film, I hate to say. Most producer credits, not all. So, yeah, you're gonna try to pronounce Nebuchadnezzar.
No, I can pronounce Nebuchadnezzar.
All right, let's go,
dude. I'm into ancient civilizations. I can say
so
Nebuchadnezzar.
glad you did.
Yeah,
all right.
I didn't know.
I can say it once in a while.
That's why I thought you were pausing.
No, I'm scanning because I don't want to read the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
This is Warner Brothers. Goddard has the genre cred. He tackled as way in the bottom, by the way. To tackle something like The Matrix, he began his career in the 90s writing for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, Alias, Lost, and he created Netflix's Daredevil Marvel show. And the comedy The Good Place. The guy's like really good. But I mean, I'd rather see him. Nah. Like if they were going to continue, they can't. If they were going to continue Firefly, they would still need Joss. But this is like, this is the guy who like really kept Joss grounded, you know? So, but like fucking The Matrix. Another take on The Matrix.
Well, this is the thing. Hollywood's devolved into branded entertainment, right? It's all brands you recognize.
It's Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers is trying to go back to like, hey, let's go to shit that worked and maybe at least try to go back to where it worked. But like, this ain't the way. Fucking dude.
But that's what I mean by branded. It's like, it's a brand, like Tide laundry detergent. It's new and improved. It's new formula. It now has Febreze in your Tide. Like it's so this is now what branded entertainment has turned into. Is it's a brand I recognize, so I'll just do that thing. Like and it's kind of sad to see that innovation is completely lost. It used to come from indie film, right? When you look at even some of the top filmmakers today working in Hollywood that are still actually doing decent work, they all have roots in indie film. Where innovation is encouraged.
Dude, they are screening the first two seasons of the final first two episodes of the final season of Discovery in theaters in New York.
Oh, really?
Hey, maybe they can fill the theater with like illegal immigrants.
That's a gimmick thing they're doing with, what's the name of the company? GoFobo. If you go to GoFobo, there's a friend of mine that's like tied into that goes to like every one of those screenings, but you're not guaranteed a seat. So I ignore that stuff, but it's just a marketing thing. It's just a marketing thing. They're doing that with The Acolyte, right? So
yeah, they did it with Rings of Power. I drove up to Waco to
that's right. We did.
I did.
And what's weird is they gave us a voucher for refreshments, not just So they paid not only for the movie, we got like free popcorn. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I got free shit by going there.
Yeah,
I did.
it was weird. I think I got Raisinets. Yeah, they're doing that with the Acolyte. With like, I'm seeing episode 1. I think it's May 3rd. I'm seeing Star Wars episode 1 in a theater, and it includes an Acolyte little preview. So
Here, share this.
that'll be
X-Ray Girl. You can see that the Discovery, they did like a silhouette of the Discovery, and it looks like a fucking like pizza cutter.
By the way, I have a Starship Enterprise pizza cutter.
Yeah,
that actually is a real thing that exists.
Yeah. So this is basically it's the old Ralph McQuarrie design of the Enterprise. What, back in 70s, something like that.
Yeah, it was for Star Trek Phase 2.
Yep.
And it was gonna maybe be for motion picture, and then they just said, well, I love the Star Trek the motion picture Enterprise. To me, best Enterprise ever. In terms of the way it was photographed.
Yes, absolutely. Robert Meyer Burnett can't wait.
Yes.
So
well, I think he's being facetious.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So real quick, Star Trek Picard season 3 was really good. 7 out of 10. Yes. That's pretty much my end cap for Star Trek. Star Trek is over. It is dead. The story has been dead for a long time. Let's talk about these franchises. Star Trek has not been good since 2005. Star Wars, I'm going to say hasn't been good. I'll be kind. I'll be really kind and say Revenge of the Sith. Although I'll really say 1983. 2005. But 2005. So 2005 for Star Trek, 2005 for Star Wars, and Marvel hasn't been good since 2019.
Yep.
Ghostbusters, never been good since its first one. Let's be real. I like the second one, but I'm not going to argue it's a good movie. So many other franchises are not even franchises. Like, it's fucking done. Now, when it comes to Star Trek, you had interest in Star Trek Picard season 3. It charted on the Nielsen's. The only other show that kind of charted was Strange New Worlds, but not like Picard season 3. Discovery's never charted. It's never fucking trend. Not even with fake bots, or real bots. I don't know what the difference is, but they could have done a spin-off from Picard season 3 called Legacy, and they probably would have brought back somehow Todd Stashwick, right?
Yes.
And have 7 or 9, and the whole plan was to integrate more DS9 characters and Voyager characters, and kind of carry on. And Riker would still be involved, for guest appearances, and they were going to like just move ahead with that. And people were like, whether you liked it or not, people were fucking interested. There was a lot of people interested. It was the only interest you saw in a new Star Trek. It's like, yes, we want to see this new Star Trek show. Can't fucking wait. Let's make it happen. There was an internet campaign. Kurtzman fucking killed it. Kurtzman killed it because he wasn't involved in Picard season 3 in any way, shape, or form. And he thought it would make him look bad. That's purely my speculation, but I think I'm right on that one. And he wanted to go ahead with his ideas, which are the Star Trek Academy show, which, and I shit you not, was pitched as Hogwarts in Star Trek.
Oh my God, I remember that. That sounds so bad.
Hogwarts in Star Trek. And the fucking retards said yes. And they said no to Legacy.
Legacy would have been so good. And Stashwick, because you never saw him on screen die, right? Like, I feel like they put him in some sort of stasis.
They could have.
It could have been easy to write him back.
Ensign Rowe was supposed to come back too. So.
And you're right. Guest appearances by Riker, new starship, and everybody loves 7 of 9. I mean, she's the stellar blade of the Star Trek.
I don't know. Like, well, they got the old crew together. They put in Star Trek music that sounded like Star Trek music, and they put him on a fucking. It was so simple. It was so fucking simple. It wasn't reinventing the wheel. It wasn't some of the greatest writing in the world. It was just, let's put the crew one last time in a story and let's just fucking end it on the Enterprise D. Why the fuck not? And it was tons of fun. I really got a lot of enjoyment out of that show. And I'm not saying Legacy, I don't know if it would have been good or not. But all I'm saying is there was genuine interest from outside of the 5 or 6 fucking Star Trek fans that are left for the show. And they decide to go with Academy. And they're going to finally do the Section 31 movie, which was supposed to be a series. You know, Section 31, which was usually just a guy randomly showing up. Well, now it's by the way, this is like the most clandestine organization in the history of organizations with badges. So you can identify each other. And they have big bases and ships that say Section 31. It's fucking retarded. So like Kurtzman, and the fact is, you know, the world is not just. The world is not fair. We only got 1 season of Firefly. We only got 2 seasons of Counterpart. But we got 5 fucking seasons of Star Trek Discovery. A show nobody watches. Like, nobody fucking watches.
I've never, in all my geek travels, ever gotten a conversation with anyone about
breaking down Star Trek Discovery. I know.
No one's saying like, oh, did you see that episode or this thing happened or whatever. These are my friends who are into this stuff. It's not a topic of conversation. You know, when you go to LobbyCon at a convention, which is just nerds hanging out at the hotel bar, sneaking in drinks to avoid paying high prices at the hotel bar. Anyways, someone may have done that named me, but that's not what people are talking about. We were talking about X-Men 97. People were talking about that. People were talking about how the con was kind of sad.
Real quick, let's talk about like the state of nerddom. So I went to a con that was fucking packed, but it was in Florida. And it's a different type of con. It's a for-profit con where they have movie stars and stuff. So it's not like super focused on comics. It's more. I've
got photos. How do
you share your photo? Oh my God,
it's around like my phone.
Oh.
Chris, we'll just take your word for it. It's okay, bro.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Share screen?
I don't know. I've never done it with a phone before.
I'm gonna try to do it, Gear. I'm gonna try to do.
Well, you can put them on Twitter, and we can share them.
Yeah, put them on Twitter.
Wait, I think I have a way to do it. Okay.
So San Diego Comic-Con, real quick. San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon are both the same organization. They're nonprofit.
Yes.
They're nonprofit. They're supposedly nonprofit. I think that's recently changed, but for the longest time, they were nonprofit. So they handle things a little differently. Now, WonderCon had great panels like Heidi McDonald's female representation in comics.
Love it.
I'm sure it was packed. I noticed that they didn't take a single picture of the crowd in that panel, Chris. I wish you would have gone there and taken a picture. That is the hallway at WonderCon in Orange County, California, in Anaheim.
On a Saturday.
Across the street from Disney, in proximity to 10 million fucking people. 10 million people in the general area. That's the Saturday at your fucking con. That you wouldn't let Chris Gore have a fucking panel at.
I got 2 more photos to show you here.
Wow.
But it was beyond. That's why I noticed it. Like normally when you go to a con, especially Saturday is the most packed day.
That looks like, dude, that doesn't even look like before San Diego Comic-Con opened when I was a retailer. Like it would be more crowded than that.
Yeah, it was just, I couldn't believe it. It's like, oh, I got to take photos because people aren't going to believe me. Saturday at the con, Gary.
Yep.
Look at how much cement. There are times,
Jesus.
Shoulder to shoulder. It was, I've never seen it that bad in my life.
Were they not giving away booths, you said? They were giving away booths.
They were giving away booths. You could buy tickets for any day. Normally Saturday is the day you can't get tickets for. So they'll randomly, mostly it's like, oh, we have Sunday tickets still on sale. Friday and Saturday sold out. That's normal. But a lot of this was, there were no big retailers. Funko didn't go, no Marvel, no DC. no Star Wars booth. There was nothing. It was only small retailers. They all pieced out. And I think part of the reason for this is that there's like when brands are doing well, it all ships rise, right?
Yep.
So if there's a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie and normies get into it, right? Like there's nothing. And
No.
it was really sad to see. So I'll post these on Twitter.
Well, this goes back to
thread
like
about
they should have never gone to fucking Orange County. So WonderCon used to sell out. It started out in Oakland and it moved to San Francisco, and for a few years it was at the Moscone Center, and it was getting as crazy as con. It would sell out. I remember when I was a retailer, I walked out of the building, fire marshal came in, fucking shut it down, and wouldn't let people re-enter until people left. And I'm like, dude, I got a booth. I came down to my fucking car and I'm holding this big box. I had to wait for somebody to leave for me to go in. That's how fucking crazy it was. Goes to Anaheim and it just kind of diminishes. Plus, they put it like 3 or 4 months before Comic-Con, which is just 90 miles south. It's like, why would you, again, when times were good, it worked. And I think that's it. There's your canary in a coal mine right there.
That's what I mean. It's like a lot of the reason that it was empty has to do with the fact that the brands, as has been discussed on many things, the brands are not as popular as they used to be. Normies have checked out. I think they're like, we're good. We've seen the Marvel movies. And so, but what was actually fun about it is like, I could just look at comics. Because they were giving away booths at the last minute, they invited comic retailers. There was a comic shop that I discovered that's in Alhambra close to me that I never even knew about. And I'm pretty sure they got the booth for free. And they were there and it was great. So it was great to be able to actually look at comics, right? Like that was super fun. So,
well, I mean, that's what San Diego was. Without Hollywood, it was one of the better cons I've been to in 10 years.
Yeah.
Last year. Had tons of fun. By the way, just want to point out, I'm not making an issue of this. I just want to make it clear. No issue right now. But my press pass got pulled. But it might be because I filled something out wrong. So it might be my fault. Just want to say.
Okay.
But it got yanked.
So wait a sec, for San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Because I was
trying
invited.
To fix it. We're trying to fix it. Yeah.
So I submitted 3 panels to WonderCon, all of which were rejected, including one we just do that's a sort of innocuous, the Independent Film Survival Guide. When we did that at LA Comic-Con, I don't think you were on that panel, Gary, but it was packed. We had a giant line of people asking questions and people genuinely just trying to help filmmakers like, hey, do this. Here's how this works. There's a cheap way to do this. Like it's one of those kind of panels that people like just because it's just there's a lot of instructional panels of how-tos, right? And I love those because when you really get into the nitty-gritty, those are really useful panels. Even that was rejected. I have been invited to submit panels for San Diego. So if the press badge doesn't work out,
cool.
Thanks. You could be Jerry. You could come up with a completely different name for your badge. Jerry.
What happens? Happens. Yeah.
What does Tardo call you again?
What does he call
Reggie. He calls me Reggie.
Reggie. I love it.
I was on the verge of not going anymore anyway, and then for a laugh, because I got a New York Comic-Con press pass. I'm like, oh, let's try it for Comic-Con just for a joke, and they gave it to me. I'm like, all right, I'll go, because I wasn't gonna do that raffle thing and sitting and waiting to get tickets anymore. It's like it wasn't worth it for how crowded it was and what it had to offer. And quite frankly, I go to Comic-Cons to buy comic books, and the deals aren't that good anymore. It's way more fun to go to like your local Scottish Rite Center or Masonic Temple and those little cons. Those are great. I did like MegaCon though. MegaCon was I thought that was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun con. I like that one. I like going to cons. I like meeting people. I like doing meetups. I think it's tons of fun.
Same.
Yep. And
LobbyCon.
Lobby con. See, that's the best part. It's like, it's not really about the con. It's like about who you go with. Right. So.
Right. And it's the time of year I see people that I only see at particular cons. Right. I'll see them. So that's kind of why I go. And it's sort of an unspoken thing. It's either Marriott Bar or Hilton Bar. The Marriott Bar was empty. That's never happened. In
That's
all
crazy.
the years I've been going to Anaheim WonderCon, like both of the bars are super packed. So you're like, the line at this bar is too long. I'm just going to go over to the Marriott. You see a group of friends and
that's the
whatever.
one.
It's just,
that's pretty close to it, right? I've been to that one before.
Right.
I've
You're
been to
across
yeah.
the street from each other. So you literally just go
Yeah.
across. It's easy. But this year there was no need. The only bar that was packed was Hilton. And it was just because they were giving away rooms for $200 a night. And they're normally during the con almost $800.
Yeah, giving away booths is like that. You're dead. Like I don't know how much longer that con's going to be around then, because that Anaheim Convention Center is fucking expensive.
I feel like it might shrink, so they
it's
wouldn't
gonna
get
have
rid of
to
it,
because they had to abandon Moscone because it got too expensive. So
I remember one time at WonderCon there was a cheerleader competition or convention, and it was the weirdest clash of like nerd culture.
I was there.
Yeah,
I was at that one. Yes, that was
like,
crazy. The parking was a nightmare. Parking was
bad.
A
it was bad
nightmare. I remember that. That's the year, or it might have been the year before that, where I hung out with Will Wheaton. Didn't say a word to each other, by the way. That was years ago.
Oh, really?
Like 10 years ago or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Okay. The link is up for the
link
for the meeting. The Disney shareholder meeting is started. I think we should watch a little bit of it. Now, when we end, I would say go over to Valiant Renegade channel because they'll have actual money people who, know about this shit.
Right.
Who's this? Now speaking, Horcio Gutierrez, Senior Executive Vice President. I didn't even get to finish his name, actually.
Good morning.
Girl.
Sorry, it's playing.
Patient advocate for Do No Harm, the group that seeks accountability in the medical profession. I am presenting proposal number 7 titled Report on Gender Transitioning Compensation and Benefits, sponsored by National Legal and Policy Center. Disney pays for gender transition interventions.
This is how they fucking started?
Therefore, the company discriminates based on gender identity under EEOC regulations.
Yeah, let Bob Iger keep his fucking job, people.
And physically harmed at a young age by gender ideology, validated by the medical industry, and pushed to the masses by corporations like Disney.
Oh, is she calling out?
Influenced by modern media and social networks.
God damn, I'm sorry. I spoke too soon.
By age 16, after practitioners I trusted encouraged me to take puberty blockers and get a double mastectomy, I tried to come back to reality. But it was too late.
I know who this is.
My body has been irreversibly damaged, and years later, my chest is still in bandages. My doctors have abandoned me. You doctors.
That's Chloe Cole.
As a result, I am suing
Look up Chloe Cole.
Taking these destructive steps that have permanently scarred me. But Disney, in its arrogance, has responded to our proposal by stating that I am only trying to generate attention for a limited agenda. Mr. Iger, Disney, under your watch, is pushing the limited agenda of gender ideology. Disney has become the Ursula that is stealing the voices of thousands of little Ariels across the world by telling us that we can be something that we can never become. The lawsuits are coming, sir. It's only a matter of time before current or past employees whose bodies and lives have been irreversibly harmed will show up at your door looking for justice and restitution. Please vote for proposal number 7.
The Board of Directors has recommended a vote against this proposal for the reasons set out in the proxy statement. The next item is a shareholder proposal by the National Center for Public Policy.
So they're voting against what she said vote for? Pause it for a second if you can, please. X-Ray girl. I don't know where Chris went. So, damn. Chloe Cole just fucking called them out. And I think she said, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, did she say vote for it or vote against it? And what did they say?
Look up who Chloe Cole is. She has spoken at many events. She was, she's an outspoken person in this arena who is basically saying,
if you could keep that, by the way, if you could keep the closed caption up, keep play, just keep it muted.
Me too. Yeah, I'm going to keep it up.
Okay.
Sorry, Gary. I'll be right back. It's got to go to the
this or to
Okay, go.
proceed anyway breaches fiduciary duty, and in this context, it loads risks on shareholders.
So she
for the
was
benefit
so
only
okay.
of the
Hang on, hit
CEO
mute. So
and
Chloe
advancing-
was for the proposal, and the guy from Disney said vote against it. Correct? Sorry, I was just kind of fucking blown away right there because of course I thought they were just like going to go yes, trans kids, and got ahead of myself. I apologize.
school
So
children, and then hiding it from the parents, which send Disney's core audience flooding away. Maybe not forever, but through your death grip on power. Ditto for trying to destroy girls' chances to shine in their own sports, and on and on. But really, Mr. Iger, you had to know all that. Heck, you hired and kept people who boasted they'd make Disney entertainment designed to drive away Disney's core audience. Thing is, though, Bertolt Brecht wasn't a business guru, as the Iger-era disaster displays. It violates every single CEO duty to dissolve a corporation's uber-loyal customer base, then try to convene a new one submissive to your extremist niche worldview. We hear you once wanted the White House, and to good
Yeah!
I think the ladder's sewn up, but maybe not the way you hoped. So yes, let's have an audit of your partnering record, count up the unnecessary risks that just happen to push your private agenda, and hope that brand new faces sit in your places to start to assess the damage and responsibility. The fiduciary duty does not endorse the Iger way.
damn.
The Board of Directors has recommended a vote against this proposal for the reasons set out in the proxy statement. The next two items are shareholder proposals
Okay,
by
so
the Tryon Group.
We want to
and the
keep grooming
Blackwell
children.
Group,
That's basically where Disney's at.
Yep. That's what they just voted for, or they're suggesting you vote for.
Okay.
Why should the Disney company be involved in that at all? I'm
That's what that
asking
guy
the
was
question.
asking. I mean, like, it's fucking entertainment. Hit the audio on this.
Yeah,
by the
sorry.
Inspector of Election. The Inspector of Election will not consider ballots, proxies, or votes, or any changes or revocations thereof submitted after the closing of the polls. We will pause to give anyone a final chance to vote.
Holy shit. They got called out pretty fucking hard, folks.
22 Pacific time.
If
and the
you
polls for
know
each
who
matter
Chloe
to be
Cole
voted
is,
on at this
she's
meeting
sort of leading the
are now
detransition
closed.
movement.
Yep.
We
I
are
don't know if
pleased
you-
to
just
announce
look her
that
up.
based on the tabulation of our proxy solicitor, it appears that the full Disney slate has been elected by a substantial margin over the Tryon Group nominees
There you
and the
go.
Blackwell's Group
Nope.
nominees. Additionally, it appears that proposals 2, 3, and 4 have been approved by the shareholders, while proposals 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 have failed to win shareholder approval.
So that's that.
However, we note that due to the contested nature of this meeting, the final results of the voting will be announced by means of the report of the Inspector of Election and will be included in the minutes of this meeting. Preliminary or final voting results will also be reported in a current report on Form 8K that the company will file with the Securities and Exchange Commission within the next 4 business days. That concludes the business portion of the meeting.
So
Close your eyes.
Iger got his wish. He's got everything he wants. Good. But man, did they get fucking called out. Holy shit. So Cecil says, I spoke with Chloe last year in DC. Brave girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
I've
yeah.
seen her
Thanks, Cecil.
speak too. I've seen her speak too, and she's spoken at many events like that, just saying, I was a kid, I was depressed, I was confused. I think it's normal when you're a teen. When you're a teen, you're going through something. But she feels completely betrayed by the system, and she has spoken out. She's one of the leading advocates in that arena. And I just recommend looking up her name and seeing speeches. She's been on C-SPAN. She's done a lot of things. And the fact that they got her to speak on this is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
and-
So Disney, basically Iger got what he wanted. Disney announced that it's over. Yeah, content secured. I know. Listen, I'd love for them to be fixed, but as I said, and as many of others said, it would take an Elon Musk type to come in and just completely gut it. I saw in the chat that said Disney board is satanic. As somebody who's not a Christian, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Holy shit, they're fucking evil.
If you continue to spend money on Disney stuff, you're supporting that. I just, this is why, like, I had like these thoughts, like they're doing all this stuff for Californians, right, to fill up Disneyland, and I just couldn't do it. I just felt weird, like, that's kind of a good price. Should I just go down memory lane? And I don't know, I just, something in my gut just said no. So
now they're doing a big trailer, right?
For all their stuff.
For all their stuff. And I don't know, but they got roasted by the first two people. So that's going to get around, dude. And that was fucking awesome to hear.
Those things are going to get clipped.
Here's the weatherman.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's hear what the
extraordinary past or its limitless future than right here at Disneyland. It's here among these fantastical lands, immersive attractions,
where you could take your daughter and pick out a princess dress with a dude dressed as a princess with a beard bigger than mine.
Boundless creativity courses through every detail. Disney is in the business of storytelling, and nothing is more
and you're
important
telling
to
us
this
his fucking
company
story
than
right now.
It was true nearly 70 years ago when Walt introduced the world to this very special.
How dare you say his name?
It's true today. When you think about it, our movies, shows, and theme parks are all really just different kinds of storytelling. And our brands,
really, Bob?
Disney, ESPN, ABC,
you haven't told a good story
Pixar,
in 5
Marvel,
years.
Lucasfilm, National Geographic, FX, Searchlight, and more.
Bunch of shit they
part
bought.
of a dynamic collection of businesses, all pushing the envelope of creativity and innovation.
Pushing the
to tell
envelope
great
of
stories
creative
to the world.
bankruptcy.
At last year's annual meeting, we had just embarked on an important transformation to restore creativity to the center of our business.
To help kids with their
Disney to a
transformations.
period of sustained growth. As we gather today, we stand on a far more solid foundation, which has been fortified by our ambitious course of action over this past year. We are once again building.
Yes, we stopped making some Marvel movies.
As we demonstrated during our most recent earnings report, we have turned the corner and entered a new positive era for the Walt Disney Company.
Have they?
Anchoring all of this work,
where's the proof of that?
4 key building priorities. We are reinvigorating creativity at our film studios. We're on the path to achieving sustained profitability in streaming. We're positioning ESPN,
which they haven't done yet,
and turning it into
ESPN is woke garbage.
Digital sports platform. And we're turbocharging growth in our experiences business, including our domestic and international parks and our cruise line. We're executing at a rapid pace, and we're doing so from a position of renewed strength with tremendous optimism. First, let's talk about our film and television studios, which are coming off a stellar awards season. Disney led the industry with 20 Oscar nominations, winning 5, including Best Actress for Emma Stone's performance in Searchlight's Poor Things. We received 27 Golden Globe nominations and won top prizes.
She played a retard, right?
And FX's
it's full frontal nudity with tons of sex scenes.
We took home
Not joking.
37 wins, more than any other entertainment company. As we continue to reinvigorate our film studios,
how'd the Marvels do?
Incredibly robust slate of upcoming theatrical
How'd Echo do?
releases. And this year alone, audiences can look forward.
Oh, it's
to
a Fox
Kingdom
movie.
of the Planet of the Apes, Deadpool,
Fox
and
movie.
Wolverine, Alien Romulus,
Fox movie,
and Mufasa, The Lion King. Another big
a live action
this year
prequel to a live
Out
action
2.
remake of an
Today,
animated movie.
pleased to share a special sneak peek.
A sequel.
Next 3 days could determine the next 4 years of our lives.
I think that's overstating things.
Man, this will bring the stockholders back.
What? Look, we all have a job to do. You make Riley happy. Sadness makes her sad. Fear protects her from the scary stuff she can see. And my job is to protect her from the scary stuff she can't see. I plan for the future. Oh, I can show you. You're going to love this.
Oh, I was using that as a cup holder. Our little girl's growing up so fast. These girls are so cool.
Well, we can't let her know we're excited.
I got this.
I could
Thank you.
help.
Not now.
Yeah. That's not going to haunt us for the rest of our lives at all. Let Operation New Riley begin.
Come on. Riley needs us. Have I ever steered you wrong before?
Many times.
How much you want to bet,
Inside Out
Gary?
2 and the
She's a
many
lesbian?
emotions in Riley's
She goes to
teenage
college and
life
becomes a
will
lesbian.
arrive in theaters
She's
on
a confused
June 14th.
teen girl.
In
There's
November,
gonna be
we
implications
will
of a
release
lot
our
of stuff.
highly
Yes.
anticipated animated sequel to Moana. And today, you're seeing an exclusive first look at artwork from the film.
F Moana.
3
It
years
says
since
F
her
Moana.
birthday, Moana is heading out on an epic journey to find and reconnect the people of the ocean. We can't wait to take audiences on another amazing journey with Moana and Maui, and we are excited to confirm that both Auli'i Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson are back reprising their roles. We're also looking forward to the live-action remake of the original film that's currently
A
in
live-action remake
Moana
of the
remains an
original film.
incredibly popular franchise.
This was what y'all
In
voted
fact, the
for,
original film from
stockholders.
2016 recently crossed
You
1
get what you
billion hours
deserve.
streamed on Disney Plus. It was the most streamed movie of 2023.
To the stockholders who
on
voted
any
against them, you
platform in
tried.
the US. It's just one of the many successful titles in our rich library of movies and shows on Disney Plus. A library that just got a lot bigger with the official launch of Hulu on Disney Plus last week.
Yeah, they had to put
There are
Hulu on
expansive
it because it was
collection of
fucking
enduring
dying.
classics and new hits available together in one place. Disney Plus truly has something for everyone. And there's even more coming soon, including a new season of the hit show The Bear. Take a look at this exclusive clip from season 3.
Make it more elegant. It looks, looks a little loose. It's a little angly. Make it flush. Make it flush.
Our streaming strategy also
what?
extends
Okay,
into the world
all
of sports.
But I hear that show's
And
good.
ESPN continues to deliver.
Oh, shit.
meaningfully
Hang on.
for the company.
Pause. Share this.
What?
Go look up Disney stock just dropped.
Oh no! After
No, during
how bad?
No.
Yeah.
That thing that they kicked it off with that vote and Chloe Cole giving that speech, and then they. Oh man.
It just dropped. It's a couple bucks, but like if you put it up, just put up Disney, just Google Disney stock
That's
and share it.
usually
Oh
not
my
the thing you
God.
want.
Yeah.
Within 13 minutes.
Within 13 minutes. Yeah, that's Eastern
Yeah.
time. So
And
Uh-oh.
sell, 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 sell. That would be funny. That would be really fucking funny. And maybe their stock was going up because people were interested in Peltz coming aboard. But yeah, I don't know. It could pop up again. I don't give a shit. I am all for acceleration. I am all for Disney getting absolutely everything it wants. Can't wait for the Alkalite. Can't wait for the Rey movie. Can't wait for the Mandalorian movie, which is supposed to be the Mandalorian season 4. Captain Black, Falcon America. The Thunderbolts with 5'2" Florence Pugh playing not Black Widow. With Ghost. Remember Ghost? Remember the villain from The Wasp and Ant-Man? Chris Gore?
No.
Remember Ghost? Yeah,
I mean,
Ghost is on
I
the team.
do, but why?
It was one of those many times where like you thought it was a dude and then it took the mask off. It's a girl. So
I played Super
fucking
Metroid.
Stupid.
It's a gaming reference, Super Metroid.
There it is. All right, hit play, I guess. I can't fucking stand this guy.
God damn my internet.
Fucking Canadian internet. Just hit refresh.
Advertiser technology in the streaming business globally, and no one has the breadth of what Disney has when it comes to streaming.
Except for
Another
Netflix.
key growth business
And HP
a
and Max.
clear differentiator for the company is our experiences business, and we're constantly seeking creative new ways to turn our IP
To turn off
into
our
top
audience.
quality experiences. That even further with our recently announced relationship with Epic Games to create a games and entertainment universe that brings together our brands and franchises with Epic's cultural phenomenon, Fortnite. Younger audiences in particular are huge consumers of video games, and this new universe will give players the opportunity to forge even greater connections with Disney. Turning to our parks, we continue to deliver experiences like no other for guests around the world while generating enormous growth for the company. Last November, we opened World of Frozen at Hong Kong Disneyland, and the response from guests has been tremendous. And we're looking forward to bringing a Frozen-themed land to Disneyland Paris. Meanwhile, at Shanghai Disney Resort, the opening of Zootopia in December has been met with equally rave reviews, becoming the most successful expansion since the park's opening. And this June, Fantasy Springs will open at Tokyo Disney Sea, immersing guests in the stories of Frozen, Tangled, and Peter Pan in the largest expansion of the Tokyo Disney Resort to date. With such a deep well of untapped IP and buildable land, there are so many experiences that have yet to be brought to our parks around the world. And we plan to turbocharge growth in this sector with a robust amount of strategic investment. And right here at Disneyland, we're pleased to have reached an exciting milestone as our ambitious Disneyland Forward initiative goes before the Anaheim City Council for final approval later this month. We're thrilled about many potential new stories that our guests could
are they
experience at
expanding?
Walt's original theme park.
They have to be expanding if they have to go to the
including
Anaheim City
opportunity to
Council,
embark on all new
Right.
Avatar adventures, with a
which are
visit
all
to
in their
the world
fucking
of
pocket, by
Pandora.
the way.
You've heard me mention before our intention to bring Avatar to Disneyland, and our Imagineers have been hard at work dreaming up what guests might expect. And today I'm excited to give you a first look at the creative inspiration for this possible new destination.
Possible new destination.
It was Walt himself who said that Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world.
And land.
Those words continue to ring true, both here at Disneyland
Good luck finding
and
it in
every
Anaheim.
Disney park around the world.
Anaheim's a shithole now.
Walt also understood the power storytelling has to connect us
I've been
all
there.
to one another. And our company, like our storytelling, has always been a force for good in the world.
No, it hasn't.
And
You're
that's
evil.
why Disney is
Fuck you.
dedicated to
Go fuck
conducting
yourself.
Our businesses with clarity of purpose and a deep sense of integrity, as we strive to have a positive impact in the communities in which we operate. This includes our efforts to bring joy and comfort to children's hospitals around the world. Our Heroes Work Here initiative, which has resulted in the hiring of more than 13,000 veterans since 2012. Disney Aspire, which covers tuition for eligible hourly and part-time Disney employees, recently celebrated its 5th anniversary with more than 15,000 enrolled employees.
How many have been
And
laid
our
off by Disney in the
longstanding
last calendar
relationship with
year?
Make-A-Wish. Disney remains
No.
the number one
lot
wish
of people.
granter in the world, having granted more than 150,000 wishes to children facing critical illness. All of this ongoing work
Oh my
is
God.
part of our overarching commitment to being a responsible citizen of the world. It is a true privilege to lead this remarkable company at this pivotal moment. And I want to personally thank our employees and cast members around the world for their passion and dedication, for their enduring commitment to excellence, and for their ability to adapt and innovate through periods of great change.
Oh,
They inspire me every day I come to work, and I am truly grateful to them. I've often said that one of the greatest attributes of Disney is the mere fact that people expect so much from us. What will they think of next, you might hear someone say, or only Disney can do that.
yep.
We
Only
welcome
Disney
that
can groom
challenge
kids.
because it motivates us.
Only
It
Disney
energizes
could
us
send a
to always be
dude
bold
in a princess
everything
dress
we
to
do,
help
and
dress up your
to
daughter in
exceed
a
your highest
princess
expectations.
dress.
Our plans are ambitious. Our
Only
strategy
Disney
is
can
working,
kill Star
and
Wars.
our future
Only
is bright.
Disney can kill
So on
Marvel.
behalf of all of us at Disney,
Only
we're
Disney can
grateful
fuck
to
up
you, our
Pixar.
shareholders, for your continued support and belief in this amazing company and its extraordinary future. Thank you.
Burn.
Before we begin the question and answer portion of the meeting,
Here
we
we
have
go.
another message from Bob Iger.
Oh, no.
Before we move forward, I just want to take a moment to thank our shareholders for your trust and confidence in the Disney board and management and the ambitious strategy we're implementing.
This was
across
written
our
yesterday.
businesses to build for the future. Now that this distracting proxy contest is behind us, we're eager to focus 100% of our attention on our most important priorities.
We haven't
Growth and value
completely
creation for our
killed Marvel
shareholders
yet.
and
We're going
creative
to
excellence for
batten
our
down the
consumers.
hatches and focus.
Thank you again for your support and
Fuck
for your
off.
continued investment in this company. Now I think it's time to answer some questions from shareholders.
We will now begin the question and answer portion of the meeting. Your questions were submitted prior to the meeting and
Are
today
they
in
super
a virtual
chats?
meeting
Super chats for
platform.
Bob Iger?
Let's
Yeah.
begin.
Bob Iger,
What
199.
is the long-term vision of the streaming assets? What challenges do you foresee in the execution?
Lame
Well, thank
question.
you very much for that question.
Lame vetted
regarding
question.
streaming, we've never been more confident about our path to creating a strong and sustainable streaming business.
Yeah, you
which
fucking
we
bought
believe will be
Hulu
a
and you
key earnings
combined
growth
it
driver for the company.
with your failing
We
Disney
expect to
Plus.
continue growing our subscribers over time,
And low
ultimately,
information
our
shareholders
goal is
will
to
think
achieve
that's a
double-digit
success.
operating margins. But more than anything, the success of our streaming services is a testament to the exceptional content that we create. Nothing more important than that.
Yeah,
And
Echo.
as I mentioned earlier, our extensive
Loki.
library of titles on Disney Plus just
Falcon and
got a
Winter
lot
Soldier.
bigger
I
Willow.
forgot
with the
Echo
official launch
existed.
of Hulu
Willow.
on Disney Plus just last week. This marks the most significant technical, operational, and product advancement to Disney Plus since its launch, and it reflects a wider tech transformation that has been underway in our streaming business for the last 2 years.
He's reading all this shit.
ESPN will also
So
factor into
prepared
our
questions
overall streaming
with prepared
strategy.
answers.
And you heard me talk about
Did you
our
see a
plans
robot
for the
ask
new
the
joint
question? A
venture,
robot voice.
as well as
Yep.
our plans to create an incredibly interactive standalone streaming option for ESPN sometime in
Bob Iger, please tell
2025.
me how great you are.
We're on the right path. There's certainly competition, and the industry is fragmented today. But we like our hand with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, and with their combined power, I think Disney has a real chance to become the ultimate streaming destination for consumers.
The parks are a special place and deserve to be maintained, restored, and treasured for the next generation and generations to come. How is Disney striving to restore the perks, service level, and details that truly make a Disney theme park experience
I can't get my
special?
fucking head around this. There is a robot
That's a great question.
fucking
As I
reading
mentioned before, the
questions,
level of
Chris.
quality in our
Pause this for a
parks
second.
is a
Fucking
top
fuck this
priority
shit.
for us.
Fuck this.
And as
How can fucking people fall for this shit? Like, do you not
Because-
care
let me
about
just-
your fucking money?
Because the questions were vetted in advance.
Yes.
Before they would actually take questions. Do you remember the year where someone talked about Gina Carano and this is the way, and he got surprised?
Yeah.
Not anymore. Everything is controlled.
And he's reading a fucking prepared answer.
A prepared answer to a question
read to him by a
read
fucking
by
robot.
by a computer voice, AI voice, or whatever. It's stupid. Yeah, no, this is it's almost pointless to watch now. 'Cause you're not-
Take it off. Get out of my this
Because-
fucking
because-
asshole out of my face.
Because the only thing that like was really a gotcha. I wish we could actually go back. Maybe we should go back to the beginning and watch that thing again with Chloe Cole. That was the most.
Can you
interesting
rewind it,
thing.
X-Ray Girl, to the beginning?
Is there a way to because
My
that
computer's
was the thing
frozen.
where that's the moment
All right,
that
hang
people
on.
should focus on, because that's the moment people should focus on, because it was a direct question related to the culture war. It was direct question about it. And basically with the idea that like Disney shouldn't be involved in any of this. And then you had Chloe Cole, who was
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah, a detransitioner, a leading voice in the detransition movement, who if you know about her, it's a tragic story about, as a depressed kid, she got sucked in, and you should look it up for yourself.
Wars Galaxy's Edge.
It really is a horrifically tragic
Mickey
story
and
where she
Minnie's
was
Runaway
let down by everyone.
We
if you
can't
know
go
anything
back.
about her. What's
So
that?
hopefully somebody clipped it and they'll put it on Twitter, and we'll just keep an eye out for it. But
Yeah. It doesn't let you to go. I'm sure they'll archive it.
Well,
when it's done.
we got a heart out today too. So
yeah, that's
I
right.
gotta
I
get
forgot
super
to
chats. Yeah.
All good. Yeah, we should probably go to super chats then.
We're gonna go to super chats.
Let's do it.
I will send you to Valiant after this.
Yep.
But yeah, if somebody's got that clip, man, share it on Twitter. Get it around there. All you can. Fluffy Tortuga for $19.99 says, Chris, how many copies of D-Shark did you hand out at WonderCon? Also, why would you put people through that torture? My friends and I watched it a couple years ago, and we all wanted to unalive ourselves afterwards. I don't even know what he's talking about.
He's talking about a movie called Dick Shark, which is by a filmmaker named Bill Zabub. And he may or may not be the subject of a documentary that I'm making. He is one of the world's worst filmmakers, and I'm going to have a bunch of his movies to give away at the meetup in Vegas.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a terrible movie, but like I love best of. Anyways,
yeah. J-Mac for 100. That is a week from yesterday, by the way. Your event. You have an event at the Millennium Fandom Bar a week from yesterday. A week from today is our first meetup at the Millennium Fandom Bar. Unfortunately, it's like all the I can't say sold out because we didn't sell anything. It was just it's RSVP. Some people are on the waiting list. We're gonna do everything in our power to get them in. If there have been some cancellations, but yeah, we're doing our best. We're doing our best to make it free. To make this free, first round of drinks both nights on us. We're gonna have some food on us. You know. Because what this is for, and I'll say it again, it's not a creator fucking hobnob. It's not where we can rub elbows and meet other creators, and it's for audience. It's for the audience to hang out and just have a party. It's my thank you. It's the least I can do for supporting this channel and giving us the opportunity to entertain you and have this really good time. So it's the least we could do. And that's why I do a bunch of meetups, and they will always be free. But unfortunately, we're limited to space and stuff. So that's why we do more than one. J-Mac for $100. Finally got around to watching Attack of the Dock, and it was such an amazingly produced experience as someone who watched G4 when it launched in high school, HS, and got back into high school and got back into college. It was great. Chris, any plans on future docs about things in the nerd space? Cheers.
Yeah, I have 2 in the works. So, and I'm going to be launching a crowdfunding campaign soon about those. I have another movie that's just done, waiting for we got to spend money to finish it. Anyways, yeah, I know we're tight for time.
We are. And the word I was looking for, and I couldn't find because I'm senile, is networking. It's not a creator networking event. It is, these are meetups for our fellow members of the audience. If some creator wants to do a network event, I highly recommend they do it. They should do it. Mm-hmm. What if I am right for $19.99? Thank you, Gary. As you inspired me to stop procrastinating and start my own channel, trying to pass it along with my recent video of the possible IATSE strike, where I tried to get some more undertones. What does that say, X-Ray Girl?
Undertones content.
Okay.
Instead of Hollywood. Sorry.
Instead of Hollywood. Yes. We're missing some vowels there. I'm like, what is that? Hey, good luck with your channel. Apparently there has been a deal struck with IATSE, with some of the groups. So IATSE is a giant group of multiple Teamster unions, and a couple of groups have already signed a deal, apparently. Jeff Atkins for $20. Idea for the Cannonball Run. All the men involved are drivers. All the women are navigators. No GPS, no planning till just before departure. And the pairs are randomly selected the day of. Men have limited veto over directions. I like that idea. We have an idea. For
it's
like
going to take a lot of planning.
It's going to take a lot of planning, and we'll definitely need a sponsor because it will cost money and it will take time.
What if, okay, I know we're short for time. What if, as we're all driving to Vegas, we just live stream and share streams?
Well, I mean, like I plan to do that anyway. I think we should. I think we found our vlogging camera that we lost like 3 years ago. We found it.
Nice.
And well, it was in our merch box, right? We just tossed it in our merch box and forgot about it. But no, yes, anybody driving to Vegas, vlog the shit out of it, please. I have tons of video. Well, you can't live stream from the road. Like you can't.
Because of the drops in signal.
Yeah.
On the
just
highway.
vlog it.
But that would
just
be
video.
funny.
It would be
funny.
Maybe we could think about it. We could definitely think about it. Like if we can coordinate it right. But I have tons of video from the UK that we need to put together still, which is that you guys haven't seen, which is pretty fucking awesome. That was a great trip. But yes, I think vlogging our trips out there, and then we can combine them somehow. That'd be kind of fun. Something to do on a fucking 18-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Besides write a song for Dan Vask, which I plan to do. ARG, another name for 1999. Leaking votes like that is actually a huge deal for the SEC. If it's true, that can lead to massive fines and or criminal charges. Also, 70 million, really? They were that scared? They were that scared. They were that scared. And part 2 is, was listening to the Nooner and nearly crapped my pants when you mentioned switching captains after the Titanic hit the iceberg. Put in reference to you in a video calling him out for years ago. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Yep. That's exactly where we're at right now with a company that is not going in the right direction, and their brand has fallen off. It's diminished. They are not. They were the studio driving entertainment in Hollywood for a long time. They were the big daddy. But each studio goes through that phases. Like I've said before, Warner Brothers was the big daddy before Disney. And that's what forced them to change so much and buy so much shit. But their time has come and gone. Are they going to fall apart? No, they're just not going to be, they're not going to be relevant as they were before. But Hollywood isn't going to be as relevant. Hollywood is losing market share as we speak to gaming every fucking day. And to live streaming, to fucking, I can't believe I'm saying it's TikTok and YouTube, not so much Twitch, which is turned into just a porn site. So what if I am right for $9.99? Also, are you to blame now for my go-to pizza toppings being ham bacon with pineapple? Yes, I will be happy to take that responsibility because you are happy. That is a sexy.
So good.
That sounds. I can't wait to have some when I'm in Vegas. I can't have some right now. The Smayer 707 for $20. Hey all, I'm a 7-year digital marketing analyst, but I'm tired of it. 3 years ago, I created a film noir animated graphic novel series. Think Max Payne style. Oh, that's cool. Response has been great. Wondering how I can make a living doing this stuff. Keep making it. That's the thing is, if there was a good response, build upon that. Be good and consistent. Good and consistent. Tons of fucking really talented people not making anything.
Consistency is so key. You will get better even without trying if you consistently do a thing.
Yes.
That's it. Dedication and discipline.
I mean, the very few people I come out the gate doing great. That's like finding a unicorn. That's like winning the lottery. It's always, and even when there's the overnight successes, you usually interview them and you go, oh yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years before this. That's just the way it is. So keep at it. And as long as you love it, that's the best part. Raised by Wolves for $20. Chris, you're wrong about absolving them from putting anything from today in the show. The 60s were when the feminist and civil rights movements were exploding, and they would insist on all of that being in it. I think Chris was thinking the comic books, but yes.
I'm thinking, but just saw that's first wave stuff. I just saw a documentary called Cara Dota Topless at the Condor, which I strongly recommend. It has nudity. I just did a review on my channel. And it talks about like first wave feminism. And I'm like, oh, these are all like good ideas we all kind of accept.
Yeah, but
it's
like,
just that it's not off the rails.
But even putting it in that would be the message. And I agree with the super chat but Chris was talking.
Right.
Chris was talking about another reality where this shit isn't there. That's what, because
right.
There's no fucking way anybody in Hollywood could make a proper Fantastic Four film, which is just an adaptation of the comic. Just adapt the fucking comic.
Nice.
You know, maybe update the language a little bit. You know, because dialogue in a comic from the '60s really won't fly today. But that's it. That's it. Hey, the Blade movie is going to take place in the 30s, prominent in the South. What the fuck do you think it's going to be about?
Yeah.
Shaka Zulu 12 for $20. I want to thank Kratos Delgados for the FNT shout out. He likes it when you call him Big 50. He is the kind of a size queen. I will see you in Vegas. See you in Vegas. Flummox.
Kratos Delgados.
Delgados, okay. Flummox Buffoon 87 for $19.99. You are a good guy, and X-Ray Girl is a great gal. Going to Pirate Invincible the comic. There is only one spirit animal. It is Battle Beast. I'm gonna guess that's Invincible. I don't know what.
I wasn't sure.
Invincible.
Like,
What's an Invincible? So.
A misspelling.
Yeah, it's all right. Early burn for $20. What if George Lucas stayed publicly supportive of Bob Iger to keep Kathleen Kennedy from getting fired because George got her the job? If he was a new star. If he said new Star Wars sucks, Bob might say, fuck you, and Kathleen is fired. George doesn't care. He's a major stockholder in Disney. He backs Disney. And politically, this was a political battle, folks. Make no mistake about it. In an election year, this was a political battle, and a lot of people saw this for what it was. A Trump guy was going to get on the Disney board, and they could not have that. They just could not have it.
It would have added balance. Better.
One guy. That's like, remember how much they freaked out with Elon buying Twitter? It's one platform. You guys are supposed to be in competition. You should be doing different things. But MSNBC sounds like CNN. What's the fucking difference between MSNBC and CNN? Except for the fucking letters. None. Fucking none. Or CBS News. Or ABC News. Or NBC News. Or any of the mainstream news. Fox is controlled opposition. The Washington Generals. Tomac for 20. If Hollywood shuts down, what will you watch? That ask while us gamers would say, oh no, I only have 300 games on my backlog. Games in bio. You're right. What would I watch? Old stuff.
Yes.
My most passionate hobby was collecting comics. I've done it since I was a small child. I gave it up. Something I never thought I'd give up. I gave up buying new comics. And what have I done? I buy old comics. That's all I do, exclusively. I think that I could count on one hand how many new comics I have bought. I bought on eBay a Silvestri Batman, which was a holdover. I bought Mark Millar's stuff and Conan. That's it. That's all. For going on 3 years now. A hobby that I'd had over 4 decades. So I'll just start watching a bunch of old movies and old TV. You know what? It'd be great to have the time to watch the entirety of Have Gun Will Travel. Something like that. You know, Duke Devil 95. And that's the thing, is Hollywood is competing against itself. There was a article from Judd Apatow recently going, Hollywood, you know, the reason they're making fewer shows is because they have these massive back catalogs now. And Suits, fucking Netflix throws up Suits, a mid-fucking show from 10 years ago, and it becomes the most watched thing over the summer. That's a lot cheaper. And Judd Apatow, a fucking dick, came out and said, yeah, they're not spending as much and they're not taking any chances anymore because they don't need to, because we're competing against ourselves. They're also competing against you and me and Chris and everybody in the chat. We're all entertaining ourselves. Like, honestly, I fucking go to live streams for my entertainment. That's my go-to. I don't turn on a TV or go on Netflix. I just fire up YouTube and see who's live. First thing I do.
Same.
Duke Devil 95 for $25 says, since STD season 5 starts this week, I decided, yeah, I know it's fucking starts tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm going to see it through. I'm going to Requiem. You're supposed to say, for one, STD flares up one last time.
Ew.
I decided to watch one of the first episodes for my channel. Haven't seen it since its premiere. I think I got a concussion from excessive face palming. Hope my head clears in time for Vegas next week. Yeah, be careful. Wear a helmet if you're watching Star Trek Discovery, dude. If you're watching STD, wear a cup and a helmet. You could get hurt. Go Woke, Go Broke for $20. What's up, y'all? Just want to say fuck Bob Iger and fuck Disney. Hail. Those first two, what was her name? Chloe Cole.
Chloe Cole.
Hail Chloe Cole. Fucking, that's a hero right there. What she did, and I'm sorry I interrupted her. I thought it was some just fucking SJW going, we need more awareness. So I should have probably shut the fuck up. That was my fault. But fuck yeah, that was awesome. Commander 062 for $20. Do you guys honestly think from an unemotional standpoint, Disney will go bankrupt or be bought or sold in the next few years? No. It just won't be as relevant. Its stock will level out. But I mean, people are still go to the park because like my kid wants to go to Disneyland. It's like, take your fucking kid to Universal. That would be my Harry Potter's there. It's more likely that your kid's going to like Harry Potter than anything at fucking Disney right now, especially on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
And on Disney World, they can't have any of the real Marvel shit. The real Marvel shit's at Universal.
Universal's cheap too. It's affordable.
And
they
it's
haven't gone crazy with the price.
Fucking so expensive. And then once you get there, you have to pay extra to get on rides. The crowds are insane. I remember the days where you can go to Disneyland in the middle of February and you'd have the park to yourself.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
I would do it.
I would do it all the fucking time. That's when me and my friends would go, and then we just fucking ride all the rides and have a good time. Now it's like you pay all that money, you get on 6 rides, maybe the whole fucking day. Not worth it.
Yeah.
A bucket of semen for 500 Danish krona. I fucking love you, Gary. No homo. Take a hike, Bob. Cheers. Love you too. All right, we're gonna get the rest on the square up. I do have to go because we got a video premiering in an hour. I'll be doing square ups from the roads. Chris, if we can pull it off. So you're talking about streaming together while we're driving.
Right. So we do like we're doing now, but we're in our cars. People are going to drop. That's normal, but that's part of the race. It'll be fun. Like literally a live stream. Alan and I are like going in separate cars. If everyone's going in separate cars, just be in your car like we are right now.
When are you leaving though? Because I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably already be there.
I'm leaving Sunday. What day are you leaving? I'm leaving Sunday at dawn.
We don't have to all be driving at the same time. I'm leaving Tuesday morning. I'll get there Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, I'll already be there.
Yeah, you're already be there. But I'm saying as a way to better plan in the future. And
but vlog it. Vlog it.
Yeah, I'll vlog mine if you vlog yours.
And then we can put that gay vlog music and we can like go in. I'm in a Buc-ee's. Music? Here's my brisket at Buc-ee's.
Gas.
Here's a
alien jerky. I want to stop by the alien jerky place.
Here's a bathroom where somebody OD'd in the middle of New Mexico.
I just want to say thanks again for having me on the Nooner. Appreciate it. Always look forward to it. It's a lot of fun. We barely got to half the things I want to. I've seen the first 10 minutes of Civil War. We got to talk about that. And WonderCon wasn't a total loss. I got this, which is the Godzilla -1.
Let me make it bigger.
That's what she said. Or yeah.
It's the same one that the director was holding at the Oscars. So I found it. There was one at the entire con.
Wow.
And I got it. So I was not a total loss, WonderCon. But and just thanks. And I'll see you in Vegas. Probably no Nooner next week. We're just
Nooner.
No, we are doing a Nooner.
No,
we are.
No.
We're not
Nooner.
We're no Nooner.
But something.
Okay.
Something.
There will be a live stream, but it won't be a Nooner. So what we'll do is from the event on Wednesday, I last year I streamed right before the event. We're gonna stream right before the event. And then I won't be on real BBC. So, and no Forbidden Frontier. The only thing we'll be on is Friday Night Tights next week.
Gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
And we'll be in studio with the Salty Nerd podcast is letting us use their studio. So please
Shout
support.
out Salty Nerd.
Shout out Salty Nerd. I want you all to go to Valiant Renegades live stream. He's going to break down all this stuff and explain way better
Is
than
he
I
live
could.
now?
Yeah, I think so.
We can just raid him then.
Is he open for a raid?
And
No.
then one last thing.
Just
One last thing.
just tell him. Nerd, you're gonna have to go over there yourself.
Yeah,
Hero, I can give you the link.
We'll raid.
I'll give you the link.
Yeah. Oh, the mods will get it. If the mods can drop the link to Valiant's stream. If not, we're gonna send everyone to.
Good afternoon,
Film
all.
Thread.
Let's see if shareholders can.
I
Make
was
my
going to
workday
say, Film
enjoyable
Thread,
day.
1 p.m. Pacific time. The D-Files Part 5 just dropped, and it's all about Wish and how Wish was a disaster and the reasons behind it. So I'll be there with Alan Ing, and we're going to talk a bunch of stuff. So join us, Hollywood on the Rocks, in a couple hours. But until then, you got 2 hours to watch other live streams. So
Yeah, go. I just
thank
put.
you,
I think
everyone.
I put the link in. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
you did.
Okay.
Good job. Gary.
Thanks for Valiant. Tell him Nerdrotic sent you. And then we will see you guys 2 weeks from today. I'll be back home. But there will be Wednesday. There will be a stream. It'll probably be on Nerdrotic Live. It'll be, what time's our meetup start?
6 o'clock local time.
So it'll be like at 4 p.m. Pacific.
And if you
Pacific.
guys haven't yet and you are in the area, where is there it is. Film Threat, the meetup is in the description below if you want to RSVP for that.
come to the meetup on Tuesday. You can get a copy of Dick Shark on Blu-ray. I'm not joking.
Jesus.
I have
What the heck
200
is a
copies to give
dick
away.
shark?
I'll give you one. X-Ray Girl, I'll save one for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm good.
Never thought I'd hear you say those
I'm
words.
good.
I'm going to give one to Gary to give away.
I'll give it away. I don't know. Will people be mad at me? Well, we've got a raffle. We do have a raffle. I have some stuff to raffle.
Nice.
Raffle off Dick Shark.
Yeah. Okay. Disney got everything they want, and I think it's fucking great. Let's watch this shit burn. Let's watch everyone, every low information stock shareholder who voted for them. Instant regret. This will be instant regret. Acolyte's coming out. And their big movie is Deadpool 3, which I'm sure will be big. But you will watch my video. It's coming out in about an hour. We talk about the first quarter, the box office, the first quarter for the box office, which I'll just give you a preview. It's fucking abysmal. It's abysmal, despite Dune being a success and Kong x Godzilla doing really fucking well. Didn't help at all.
Yeah.
So, folks, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on here. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thanks to everybody who participated. We'll see you on Friday Night Tights with absolutely no guests. It's just us. It's just us.
Get ready for it.
Get ready. Bye-bye.
Later.